Okay, girls and guys, we are going to actually be talking about Sony and Microsoft a little bit. We're going to be talking about Sony, what kind of games they might be able to port over, and we're going to also talk about God of War. So let's go ahead and get God of War over with. I give the story a strong B, okay? Now, I don't just give my games a letter, I also give them a number by that letter. So, I always think that when you have a game such as God of War, the next game should be better than it. So, this God of War is a B, and then its rating is going to be a 50. Now, let me go and explain why I'm only giving it a 50. One of the biggest reasons is it had a huge glitch problem. It did not matter if you played with a controller or a keyboard. Sometimes what would happen is when you'd play with keyboard, it'd pop up Xbox controller letters and stuff like that. And if you played with an Xbox controller, it'd pop up like keyboard letters and all that. Now, we're not just going to sit here and talk. I'm going to go ahead and have a little bit of action going on the screen. Now, I've already played the game. This is not good. I just died just like that. Oh well. But like I said, I only played the main storyline, and I'm gonna go back and play the whole game. Like do all the side right there, boom. So there it is. Now, when this happened the last time, I didn't get it. So there, as you saw how I got out of it like that. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do right now is I'm going to go make sure that this did not mess up my entire recording, because last week it was messing up my recording every time it had that glitch right there and basically ruining the whole thing. Now, if it did mess it up, I will go ahead and set up a my cell phone and get it on it and record it just my computer screen from my cell phone and get it as best I can like that. Now, give me a minute, let me check this out. Okay, girls and guys, we are back. Now, I do not want to go back into God of War because I'm afraid one of those error messages will mess up my entire video. Now, let's just go ahead and finish up the God of War part. I gave it a B for the story. I gave it 50 points for it being transported over to PC and basically all of that. Now, the reason why I gave it that is because here's the thing. As I played through the main story on God of War, there was these error messages that keep popping up. When I was playing using my Xbox controller, it would basically get confused and it would try to make me use my keyboard. And in certain parts, when I'm fighting a boss or something like that, this problem right here, this error message or this glitch, whatever you want to call it, would mess me up. And how you would have to temporarily fix it is you would hit the Windows 10 key on your keyboard and that would fix it for a little bit, but again, it would mess up eventually. Now, I wanted to go ahead and talk about PlayStation and Microsoft. So let's go ahead and get into that real quick. First off, I wanted to talk about them bringing every single God of War over to PC. Now, here's the thing though. They have God of War on the PlayStation 2. So, in order for them, for people that are emulating on like the PlayStation 2 emulator and stuff, in order for them not to just go buy a copy of God of War on the PlayStation 2 and just emulate all those games from the PlayStation 2, because every God of War was on the PlayStation 2, I believe. Maybe not the when it was on the PlayStation 3, but I'm pretty sure it was, but I'm not for sure. So, basically, they'd have to make a good, sweet deal. And here's how they can do it. Every single God of War game, except for the new one, which is with the kid, the one that we just got, I think, 2 weeks? Well, no, it's been about, it's been a month now. This God of War. All except for this God of War right here. Every God of War leading up to this one. Now, how I would do it is I would make them all in one bundle pack. Now here's the thing. They're going to have to make a good deal where they won't want to emulate those games, because you can easily go to one of your local game shops that have PlayStation 2 games and find all the old God of Wars and stuff and this emulate them on your computer. Now, that is why I'm saying to make all 3 God of Wars like a bundle deal and all of them for $40 with upgraded graphics and stuff like that, and that will sweeten the deal a little bit. Plus, make it to where you can. I forgot what they were. I think they were like skins you could buy for Kratos and make his weapons look different and all that. I forgot what they were, but they're on the PlayStation 3. You could buy all these things. It was on the PlayStation 3 store. I forgot what they were. It's just been so long ago. But that's just one part. Listen to this real quick, if I can get Google to do it. Hold on. All of the exclusives. Hold on. A list of all of the exclusive games for the PlayStation 1. Now, as you can see, here's some of them right here, but I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Now, what I'm trying to say is, what if they were to go back and put every game it was from the PlayStation 1 over to PC with upgraded graphics? That way, we would have something already coming over from Sony to keep us busy while they worked on why we had to wait for the newer PlayStation games coming over from the PlayStation 4 and the 5. Now, from what I saw, it was always like a year, 2 years, a year and a half, something like that, when we would always get a Sony exclusive over on the PC.
Pages in category PlayStation, console, only games. 2 Extreme, 3 Extreme, 007 Racing, 70s Robot Anime JPX, 360, 360, 989 Sports Major League Baseball Series.
Okay, and that is just me giving y'all an example. I'm hoping what Sony will start doing is they will go, okay, we got all these exclusive games from the PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 2. Let's go ahead and import those over to PC. That way, we can actually start making a little bit of revenue. And then, that way, for an example, if they were to start putting all these exclusives from PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, all those exclusives, especially God of War, like I said, and people, like, I know I'd be one of the people who would buy that God of War bundle pack if they were to put them all together, and only for $40, that I would get it, honestly. Now, I don't want to just sit here and talk to y'all. I want to kind of have a little bit something going on the screen, so I don't really want to pick something that's kind of got a lot of violence to it, because I don't want them to basically make it to where a lot of people won't see my YouTube video. So I'm just going to play a little bit of Dragon Ball Z, and we could talk a little bit more. So, like I was saying, there's so many exclusives from the PlayStation 1, 2, and 3. Now, I'm hoping one of the games that they will bring over... Oops, I forgot to turn that off. Sorry about that. Give me 1 minute. Let me go turn that off, and then we will get back into this. Sorry about that, girls and guys. But now, there is one game that I would love, and I'm going to repeat this, love to see come over on the PlayStation. I mean, come over from the PlayStation to PC. Now, the reason I'm muting that is where I don't have to talk over the game volume anymore. Give me a minute and let me go ahead and find MSI Afterburner, load that up, and then... Okay, so, go ahead and go into here. Anyways. Now, like I said, there is a game that I would love to see come over from the PlayStation exclusive on the PC, and that is The Last of Us. The Last of Us, oh my goodness. Now, here's what I would also, it would be incredibly better. If they were to make The Last of Us a Sony port, basically it was an exclusive over there. If they were to come over here, I'll tell you right here in a minute once I load into the screen. Okay, if Sony was to make the, like I said, The Last of Us a port that will come over to PC, not just make it a port, but make it to where you can also play it in VR through Steam, and you can play it in a regular mode, because here's the thing, I don't know about you, but I am not going to play that in VR mode. I am not going to get my... I can already see it happening. Me in VR mode and those clickers coming after me. If y'all don't know what clickers are, it's a type of zombie that was in The Last of Us, and those things, man, I mean, The Last of Us was one of those titles that just, yeah, I mean, it was a really good title, and now that is just one of the games I would love to come over to PC, because I would love to see it actually, I would love to see it, give me a minute, to see what it would look like, and with the graphics that a gaming PC can do. Now, I want to go ahead and talk about something else. And it ain't just me it's saying, it's a lot of other YouTubers that are also saying this. Consoles have never been this close to PC before. The PlayStation 5 and the Xbox X is what I'm talking about. Now, if I was, I'm not trying to tell Sony how to do their job or anything, but, honestly, I would start not just putting ports on PC, just because of, not just to make money, but also to see what kind of combinations I can come up for. For an example, the PlayStation 6 or the Xbox Super X. I don't know, you know what I mean? And the reason I'm saying that is because the reason I'm saying that is because, like I said, there has never ever been consoles that have ever been this close to computers. Now, there's even some people, I watch another YouTuber called Tekya City, and he's even telling some people, because of what's going on with the graphics cards, to either get an Xbox or a PlayStation just to hold them over until, well, basically Bitcoin crashes, or, you know what I mean. But now here's the thing, I don't have no problem with the Bitcoin people. I have a problem with the people who are making the Bitcoin. Because here's the thing, you can get more Bitcoin on an asset miner, but they don't want to do that. And no matter how you cut it, someone's always going to be getting the short end of the stick in that type of stuff. I mean, I understand that they did it this way because they felt like people were getting cheated and stuff, but what I don't like is people, I mean, think about how many graphics cards there's gonna be now in landfills because of them burning out the memory, doing all that. Now, I'm going to get out of that right now and talk about something else. Let's go ahead and move over to, we talked about Sony. Let's go ahead and talk about Microsoft a little bit. Microsoft, I got to give them a hand in what they've been doing. Now, one of my friends asked me if that I ever thought Microsoft would make trying to think what you would call it, Call of Duty, an exclusive, and I told him I don't think so, and he asked me, okay, why? And I told him because Microsoft would not see any reason to make Call of Duty an exclusive. And you're going, wait, you don't think... And here's another thing. You're going, wait, won't a lot of people want to play Call of Duty? Won't they just switch over to Xbox? Well, here's the thing. You got to ask yourself, is it worth it? Because the way I see it, I like to think of Microsoft playing chess, and every move that they make is incredibly well thought out. I mean, take a look at the company of Microsoft. It's incredibly huge. And Microsoft is also the people who own Windows 10, I'm sorry, I just don't like Windows 11. I'm sorry. Windows 11 is a dumpster fire. And that's just my opinion. You can take it, leave it. You can not like it. But anyways, I am incredibly impressed with what they have been doing with their ecosystem about Xbox Game Pass, stuff like that. Now, do I ever get Xbox Game Pass? Well, let me put it how I usually do it. I will usually, if Xbox Game Pass has a game on there I want to play, but here's the thing, they can't just have one game on there I want to play, they have to have a lot of them. For an example, when one time they had a whole bunch of games on Xbox Game Pass that I wanted to play, the problem was I only had a month to play every single one of these games. I did it too, but it was not easy. There was a lot of long nights and staying up, but I beat every one of the games I wanted to play on Xbox Game Pass, and then I just let it run out. And that is usually how I'm going to use Xbox Game Pass. If there's a game on there I don't want to play, or a game I already have, there's no reason for me to get Xbox Game Pass. Now, it's incredibly incredible, because what I'm hoping they would start doing is something like this. Now, I understand that we have Xbox Game Pass and stuff like that, and we're supposed to be getting older titles on there and stuff like that. Now, here's what I would like to see Microsoft actually do, if they would allow it. I would like it if they would allow us, if we have the disc, like an Xbox 360 disc or an Xbox One disc, and we had a gaming computer, if they would allow us to play those Xbox One games, I mean, not Xbox One games, or those Xbox 360 games in our PC. And you're going, why would you do that if you have an Xbox One? Well, one, you could get increases in your performance. Now, how it would work is the disc would basically access a key for that game, like a PC game would, like you would when you would basically pop PC games in the store. You'd put the disc in, and then it would basically just be accessing a key, and then you'd put in that key. Same thing with the Xbox One games, but the key would be inside of the game itself. And you're going, how would they do that? Well, manufacturing dates. They all have their own day and date of when they came out. Now, is it going to be perfect? No. Are people going to take advantage of it and try to use it to basically play free games? Yeah. But the way I see it, Microsoft should not allow someone like them to mess up something like that. Now, another reason you would want to play your Xbox games on your gaming PC instead is not just because of the increased performance. For an example, what about the very first Xbox that came out? Now, a lot of people don't have the original OG Xbox. Now, if they don't have the original OG Xbox, but they have all their old games, then, well, they can play them on their PC. Now, here's the thing though. A lot of Xbox, a lot of PC people don't have disk drives in their PC anymore. Well, simple. Just let them just have an external DVD player. That is actually what I use. Now, I'm about to be done here in a minute because I really ain't got too much to cover about Xbox because Microsoft is doing incredibly well. I would like to see Sony basically ask us PC people what kind of other games we'd like to see come over on the PC. Now, here's the thing. How I would do it is this. Is basically put up a poll on their website, like a website called exclusive Sony games that we are willing to come over to PC. Now, what would happen is they would actually have a YouTube video of showing what the game is and stuff like that, and then people on the PC would get the vote, and which ones have the most votes, that's the game they would start with, and then they would work their way down to the one that had the least amount of votes. Because, like I said, Sony has so many exclusive titles from all their older consoles that could hold us over until they are ready for us to be able to play Spider-Man. The Spider-Man game, it came out on the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5, or even Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now, honestly, I am a huge Spider-Man fan. I would love to play the new Spider-Man. There's this one tiny problem. I don't have a PlayStation 5, or I don't have a PlayStation 4 either. And even if I did, I still wouldn't be able to play it because I couldn't play, because if y'all know the PlayStation 4, it was only 30 frames per second. And for a while there, it wasn't true 1080p. It was 1080p UHD or something like that. Anyways, I could not handle what type of frame rate I was getting on my PlayStation. It would always give me a headache, and I couldn't figure it out. And then I kept trying to go over what did I have in common, stuff like that, and it was always me playing my console. And then I started doing a little bit of research and stuff like that. But I want to hear down in the comments, what do you want to see from PlayStation and Microsoft? Do you want to be able to emulate Xbox games that you have in a DD form, whether it be the OG Xbox or the Xbox 360, because we both know that Xbox 360 had a problem. I'm about to be done, Mom, with the Ring of Death. Now, I know a lot of people, when they would get rid of their console, they kept their games and stuff like that. Now, that could be like a new feature on Xbox Game Pass, and how it would do is it'd basically emulate that console, but it would allow you to make your graphics and all that better and stuff like that. Now, as I said, it ain't gonna be perfect, but here's the thing. If Microsoft was willing to do it, they would get so much more feedback and so much more help. Because there are so many, look at the PlayStation 2 emulator, for crying out loud. People who, you know what I mean? Look at this. This right here is a work of art of gaming. The PlayStation 2 emulator is a work of art. People that are working on the Xbox OG, the Xbox 360 emulator, the Wii emulator, which would be Wii Dolphin, these are work of arts because you're getting that type of game to work on a PC. And I cannot thank you enough for those girls and guys that are working on these emulators. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I would love to see Microsoft starting to try to support the emulation community by allowing us to use their emulator, but making it to where we can only play certain games on that emulator, and they would have to make it to where some way we could not use games that we got off the internet and but you know what I mean? You got them illegally. which I do not recommend. That is illegal. That is wrong. I get my PlayStation 2 games. Um, how I get my PlayStation 2 games is I go to Bring Back Games. Trying to think of all of them. Bring Back Games is one of them I used to go to, but it shut down. Game Exchange, right there, Game Exchange. What I do is I'd go there and buy the PlayStation 2 game in the disc format, and then I would use this program right here, and it would turn it into an ISO. Every PlayStation 2 game that I have the disc of that game. Now, why do I turn them into ISOs? Well, a disc gets scratched, it gets damaged. Now, you don't have to turn all your PlayStation 2 games into an ISO. You can use the PlayStation 2 emulator, put your disc in, and play the game. Now, I actually, I think it was a few years ago, I can't remember when. Basically, I built this one computer for someone. Now, they didn't have no internet or anything like that, but it was summer and she wanted something for her kid to do. So I talked to her and I asked them what kind of games they like to play, stuff like that. And I decided to make them a PlayStation 2 emulation computer because you don't have to have the internet to play on the PlayStation 2 emulator. And she asked me how would it be all different, stuff like that, and I explained how the graphics would look so much better. And I set the whole thing up, which would be the basically the it was a little mini desktop with a low profile graphics card. It was a 750, and it was perfect for them. It fit right underneath their entertainment stand. You could barely see the computer, stuff like that. And I basically hooked it up through the HDMI port, and basically they would play all day long, and they loved it. I taught them how to make sure the game looked good, how to make sure there was a good frame rate, everything. I had MSI Afterburner installed, all of it. And I reached out to him about a month ago, and he's actually showed me his newer system. I will see if he's willing to let me record and show y'all and stuff like that. But they're doing really well now, and he is actually in college doing something for computers. I forgot what he said, but he's really cool. And we even now play games together on PC when he has time because, like I said, he's in college now and he's incredibly busy. But, girls and guys, I'm done talking your ear off. I'm hoping you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm hoping that Sony will actually look back at all their old catalog of PlayStation exclusives and let us go ahead and have some of those on PC while we have to wait for the newer games to come over on PC. Microsoft, please work on Windows 11, make it better. I'm begging you. Other than that, good job, Microsoft. Keep it up. Sony, keep up all the good work of importing exclusive PlayStation games over to PC. I can't thank you enough, even though I know you're doing it because there's a little bit more money you're getting now from those games. Now, I'm going to go ahead and talk to y'all about one more thing real quick. Well, actually, two things, and these are real quick. First, let me get this out of the way. I am not a Microsoft fanboy, Sony fanboy, Nintendo, or anything like that. I am a consumer. With whatever I can get the best deal with, that is who I'm going to go with. Same thing with Intel and AMD, and the same thing with the graphics cards for your anything in your computer system. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is this. How can you complain about the Epic Game Store? How can you complain about free games on here? Now, hold up. I understand that there are some people who like Steam better, and that's what you grew up with. Change is scary. I mean, how many of y'all remember when y'all would move and y'all had to go to a whole new school. It was scary for y'all, was it not? It was scary for me. But eventually, before y'all knew it, y'all had friends and y'all were doing real well at that other school. Now, every game you see right here on the Epic Game Store, I didn't pay a dime for them. These are all free titles that I got from the Epic Game Store. Now, girls and guys, how can y'all complain about free? I can't. I just can't. Y'all, I mean, now, I will see y'all in the next YouTube video, which I will have one out sooner than later. I'm going to start recording more often, and the reason I don't have a face cam is, well, I tried setting one up, basically using my old Vixia Canon camera with the tripod back there, but I didn't have no good way of removing the camera, stuff like that. So, I'm going to have to come up with something else. I'm thinking of making some kind of mounting system and mounting it to the back of my monitor stand and making it to where it can just come down on me, and then I can just like basically how it would work is, think of it like a vise, and you would have your camera there and you would just put your camera on, then you would twist something and the vise would clamp down onto the back of the monitor stand. There you go. But please, girls and guys, have a nice night. I'm hoping y'all are all safe out there. And please, have a nice day. And remember, make the most out of what you can, what your life. Don't let no one say anything about your dreams. Chase them, and remember, the minute you give up is the minute you truly lose. As long as you keep getting back up and keep going after that dream, you won't lose. But the minute you stop trying to go for that dream, you lose. So guys and girls, I'm leaving it there. I'm hoping y'all are all safe. Bye.